Hey y'all, thanks for stopping by. So, for this episode of Men's Help Monday, I want to talk to you about your problems and your feelings because a lot of you aren't willing to do that. I saw this video yesterday that it feels like a staple of my social media feeds. Every 3 months it shows up of all these men being asked in a street interview, who would you go to if you had any problems in your life that you needed to talk about or if you just needed to vent about your concerns? And all these guys said no one, that they're a man, so nobody wants to listen to their problems, or that nobody cares about their problems. And I think it goes a little deeper than that, because it's not that nobody cares, because obviously you do. You don't want to weigh anybody down with your concerns or your problems because everybody else has concerns and problems. So why would you want to bog them down with the minutia of your life when you can just grin and bear it? Because that's worked out so well for you so far. You've made it this far in life with this program, so why not just keep up with it? Of course, the irony of this is usually the men who have this sort of mindset complain about women talking about their problems online. They'll say that women are over emotional or that they can't deal with the stresses of life. They have to lean on other people for support, but that's what your friends are for. What's the point of knowing people for your whole life and spending all this time with them if you can't know what's going on with them emotionally? If you aren't willing to help them in their times of grief and strife? I get that being emotionally vulnerable is a scary thing. Some of you might think this will be taken advantage of, that they're going to make fun of you for it, or something like that. But if you really think your friends would make fun of you for talking about your problems with them, you need to find new friends. I'm sure there are some of you who think that this is taking advantage of somebody. You need to kill this weird TikTok therapist in your head saying that this is abusing someone's emotional labor or whatever sort of brainworm kind of excuse you have for not wanting to talk about what's going on in your life. Even when asked directly, a lot of you will brush off the question. You're not as good as you think you are at hiding your emotions. So when your friend asks you, hey, is everything okay or what's wrong? You need to start being open and honest about it. Personally, I wouldn't ask you if everything's okay if I didn't want you to give me an honest answer. And I feel like a lot of your friends are the same way. One of the more interesting phenomenons I've read about is this thing called the likening gap, where we all have this impression that people don't think about us and don't care about us as much as they really do. A lot of you have this feeling that you're imposing yourself on others by talking about what's going on in your life or trying to be vulnerable with people. And I just need you to realize that's not the case. Yes, there are going to be some people out there who are, frankly, sociopathic, who don't care about anybody but themselves and only look at you as a means to an end to get the things that they want. But most people are not going to be that way. Most of the people who you spend time with, whether it's online playing video games with somebody or in person, it could be a coworker or someone you see at the gym often, or maybe it's just someone you see while you're walking in the park. You need to be willing to try. And so many of you have just resigned yourself to the fact that your problems are your own to deal with, that you need to bottle them down and cut it out with the tumor when you turn 70. But maybe you've realized that this is self-destructive. Maybe you just want to be better and stop being bogged down with how worried you are. Or maybe you're hearing all this and it reminds you of someone you know who's going through some very self-destructive behaviors. All I can ask you to do is to be honest with your friends and to really try to talk about these things. It's going to suck the first few times. It's going to feel like a fight with yourself to get these words out of your heart and out of your mouth. But you will feel better for it in the long run. Eventually, you're going to get better at actually articulating what's wrong with you. You won't have to spend so long trying to come up with the right words to say, and you'll just be able to say it. And once you hit that point, life is going to feel a whole lot different for you. Once you feel more comfortable talking about what's going on in your life, you can solve these problems faster with other people giving you advice. And you'll start to realize that it's not trauma dumping on people. You're not just giving them your problems to deal with. You're sharing this load. A shared trauma is a quicker recovery, and the people who are in your life want you to be better. So just try. Take advantage of the relationships in your life while you have them available to you. And if there is some part of you that's nagging about this is wrong or that you need to pay them back somehow, do that. Let them know it's appreciated. Give them a gift or ask them if there's anything they need in their life that you can help with. But you should know this is not a zero-sum game. Most of the people in your life just want to help you, and aren't expecting anything back. Just verbalizing that someone helped you, telling them that what they did helped you work through your problems, that's enough for a lot of people. That's more than most people get. So these little bits of effort can really add up in the long term, and I just hope you start taking advantage of that. But until some manosphere podcaster tells you the only emotions that a man is supposed to experience is anger and silence, y'all try to have a good day.